Hello, and welcome to your Inclusive Leaders Assessment Report. We appreciate your dedication to leading more inclusively. This video is designed to explain a few key aspects of your report and how to use it as an effective tool to drive behavioral change through learning. During the Inclusive Leaders program, you will have the opportunity to take the Inclusive Leaders Assessment, or ILA, and receive a report with your responses and those of your reviewers. Most people will take the ILA for the first time at the beginning of their learning journey. This will help to establish a baseline for how you see yourself compared to how others perceive you. You may take the assessment again 6 to 12 months later, and the accompanying report will help you see the changes in your scores. This multi-rater assessment is designed to help measure your perceived behaviors or your intent through your self-ratings, and will also review the way your colleagues experience your actions or your impact through their ratings of you, and help bridge any gaps between the two. Most of the questions are measured on a frequency scale, with 1 representing very infrequently and 5 representing very frequently, or an agreement scale, with 1 representing strongly disagree and 5 representing strongly agree. Now, let's take a quick look at the different parts of your report. The intro pages provide background information on what the report contains and how to use it. You will also see a table that lists the total number of reviewers who have completed their assessments of you. Remember, you will only see reviewer aggregate results if you invited 5 or more people and at least 3 respond. The first section of your report is the Inclusive Leader Pulse. Here, you can see your scores and those of your reviewers for the 7 inclusive leader skills. The line graph lets you compare your self-ratings and the reviewer ratings, as well as the round 1 and round 2 scores. For a more detailed look at your numbers, check out the accompanying table. Next, in the skills section, we more closely examine each skill and the individual questions that make them up. You can review the introduction pages titled Understanding the Skill Deep Dives for a more in-depth description of this section. For every skill, you will first see a skill overview page with a bar graph. The bar graph allows you to compare your average skill score to the aggregate of your reviewers' ratings. In the round 2 report, you can also compare between rounds. Below the skill aggregate score is a section called Take a Moment to Consider. These questions are intended to promote personal reflection to support you in applying your learning. At the bottom of this page is a box that indicates which response you chose for the related level of engagement question and which stage this response reflects. The second page displays a table with more detailed information about responses to the questions that map onto each skill. Your response, the yellow dot, is overlaid with the average response of your reviewers, the purple and/or gray bars. You will see 2 columns, level of agreement and strengths/weaknesses, which will give you added insight into the nature of your reviewers' responses. The legend at the bottom of the page provides a quick summary of what each column means. You can also view the total percentage of reviewers who selected do not know or does not apply across all questions within this skill. The level of agreement column helps you understand how spread out your reviewer scores are. If most reviewers gave you a similar score for this question, you will see a high level of agreement. A low level of agreement indicates a larger range of reviewer scores. The strengths/weaknesses column indicates if a behavior is a known strength, an unknown strength, a known weakness, or an unknown weakness. These rankings are based on an interaction of your score and your reviewer's aggregate. A known strength indicates that you and your reviewers agree this is a strong area for you by giving a high rating of 4 or above and 4.25 or above, respectively. A known weakness means that you and your reviewers scored this behavior at a 3 or below and 3.5 or below, respectively. If something is an unknown weakness, it means that you scored yourself high, but your reviewers gave you a lower score. And if something is an unknown strength, it means that you gave yourself a lower score compared to your reviewers. Since strengths/weaknesses are based on the interaction of your self-scores and your viewer scores of you, not every question scores will fit into one of the 4 categories. These cells are left blank. This section can be valuable in helping you identify specific behaviors you are doing well in and opportunities for improvement. You will also note places where you might want to seek feedback to better understand how others perceive you. The final section of the assessment has questions designed to measure your level of engagement across 6 categories. Your reviewers are not asked these questions, so the levels of engagement page in your report is based only on your own responses. This page features tables for round 1 and round 2 if you completed it, displaying which stage you are in for each skill based on your answers. It's set up so you can easily see your progress through the stages and compare between both rounds and skills. The Things to Consider section includes questions and suggestions that help you work on advancing your skills. Remember, the assessment is only one tool in your journey to becoming a more inclusive leader. There's no endpoint in learning and improving your actions as an inclusive leader. Improvement is going to require intentional time for reflection, constant engagement, and goal setting. In your report, we provide 2 frameworks for doing this. Both your Round 1 and your Round 2 report include a what, so what, now what section to guide you in reflection and learning. Your Round 2 report includes an additional section that helps you think about how to keep your learning going even after you have completed the program. Thank you for your participation in the Inclusive Leaders Program and for your commitment to improving the diversity, equity, and inclusion culture at your organization. We hope that you now have a better understanding of all the ways the assessment can help you along on this journey. As you continue to learn and grow, be sure to check in with yourself, your colleagues, and your peers on what you're each learning about creating a more inclusive culture. Interpersonal learning, accountability, and growth are important aspects of inclusion.